What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody? Happy veterans. Thank you to all the veterans. But thank you to all the veterans. What's going on, guys? So, Joel Embiid got offended got offended for, got offended for, for free games for not for for not talking to a reporter or for ignoring a reporter. And I'm going to say this. Embiid is a good NBA player. Embiid is a good NBA player. Embiid is a good NBA player. And Embiid has won a gold medal this past year. And I'm going to say this also. Embiid was injured, and the 76ers are getting fined $1,000 for Embiid being out at the start of the season. And now that he's offended for free games and probably will be back whenever the Sixers play because now you got Maxi out with a hamstring, you got Paul George back. We don't know when Maxi, Paul George, and Embiid are all going to be on the court together. But back to Embiid, and I'm going to get the elephant out of the room. Again, I'm going to get the elephant out of the room. It's that I'm not talking bad about Embiid. I'm talking good stuff and real stuff and positive stuff. And I think Embiid being offended for free games. I ain't being offended. And the Sixers being fined for $1,000 for all of this. I think, for one, it's unfair that the Sixers got fined $1,000 for Embiid being out, but I also think for him being offended as well for not talking to a reporter or whatever that offensive is, it's only for free games. And I'm going to say this: the Sixers right now are 1-7, or 1-7, and I do think Embiid, Embiid, we're going to see Embiid, we're going to see Paul George, we're going to see Maxey all play together pretty soon on the court together. On the court together. It's just at the start of the season, we saw Embiid play on Team USA. We saw Embiid play on Team USA. We saw that. But Embiid being out free games is is going to be tough for the 76ers. It's going to be tough for the 76ers. And I'm also going to bring this up as well. I think the NBA players need privacy because reporters are coming into the locker room, are coming into the locker room, are coming into the locker room, and let me bring this up. In the bubble, in the bubble, in the bubble as well, in the bubble, when the Lakers won the bubble championship, reporters did not come into the locker room. Players had to go to the podium and 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 do their interviews. And why would you? I'm just saying, this is my opinion. Why would you? Why would you go back to that? Because now the NBA players, and I'm also going to bring up the WNBA as well in this statement, this, in my opinion. I'm going to bring the WNBA in my opinion. I think the WNBA and the NBA privacy, need privacy because after a game, it takes time for players, for NBA players, for NFL players, for WNBA players to reflect, to take a moment, and get out of game mode, and get ready to talk to and get ready for the interviews. And I'm going to say this. Why would you go back to that? Why would you go back to why would you go back to why would you go back to some why would you go back to that if in the bubble, I know I'm getting off topic here, but in the bubble, you changed that to NBA players getting to go to the podium and doing their interviews. Why would you go back to doing interviews in the locker room when WNBA players, when NBA players, when NFL players need to process what happened to the game, what happened in the game, because get out of game mode so they can ask questions, because now it's like they don't have to take a moment to reflect on what happened in the game. Because after the game, reporters come into the locker room and ask players questions. But you stop the WNBA, the reporters did not do that in the bubble. What's so different about players? What's so different about NBA players and what's so different about NBA players and WNBA players and NFL players just have a moment and have privacy to take a moment to get out of game mode. They don't have a moment to get out of game mode and to process what happened in that game. They don't have a moment because After the game, reporters come into the locker room. They should just go back to the rule go back to a rule where players get to go to the podium and do their interviews. Because I think players, the players need to take a moment and get out of game mode. But I think with Embiid's offension and the Sixers being fined $1,000 for this is the Sixers got the Sixers. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how the Sixers are just playing not decent basketball right now. And the Sixers lost to the Clippers. They lost to the Clippers. And um Paul George's um debut. They lost to the Clippers and Paul George's debut. Like Embiid has been through the tough times and trusts the process. Embiid has trusted the process. And I think when you have a guy like Embiid that trusts the process for the 76ers and has been through the tough times, I think Embiid, um, I think, you have, you have to, you have, you have a guy that trusts the process and that is willing to trust the process and get back to and retire a Sixer. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. And peace.